Welcome to PM DevLog episode 5, this series where I'm trying to combine all of my product and engineering knowledge to build a new SaaS platform from scratch. A couple of people actually asked me why the episode is late, so even though it was a total joke, I do appreciate that somebody noticed. If you're first tuning in, you can find my previous videos on YouTube and my LinkedIn channel. On a more serious note, thank you to all the people who've taken the time to give me feedback. It's very useful to me and it helps me decide what to do next. Also, to those who simply click on the link and go on the app, click around, it actually helps me a lot more than you think. Let me show you why. GraphHub is connected to an awesome tool called FullStore. It basically records every session, every click, and anything that's being done on the hub and allows me to then go back in later and analyze it, see where people get stuck, see where there are bugs or where things need a UI improvement. Based on what I've seen from recorded sessions, the previous version's biggest issue was navigation. So now when I open a graph, I have an app bar on top with the name of the graph and a search bar. And now when I type the name of any concept or list, it will auto-complete the results and take me straight there when I click on it. Also, clicking the name of the graph goes back to the root concept, which is also very helpful for navigation. Finally, I've also added a graph menu, which right now only allows you to go to GitHub to view the source of the graph, which is basically all the concepts, lists, and relationships which are used to build the graph. In order to allow users to change information in the graph, I needed to build some sort of database which can save these changes. Choosing the wrong database is actually one of the biggest engineering mistakes you can make. Finally, after reviewing several options, I've decided to build everything on top of GitHub and actually pull in all the information and save all the information directly to a repository every time a change is made. This has the huge advantage that it gives me all the power of GitHub and its source control and actually turns GraphHub into a GitHub extension. My first big demo graph, the Midjourney graph, was renamed into text to image. I've actually wrote a fully automated process which uses ChatGPT to convert art concepts into the graph. This is how it works. I give ChatGPT clear instructions. You are an AI assistant tasked with dissecting artistic concepts into their key characteristics. Next is a bunch of more technical explanations about how I wanted to return the response. Next, if possible and something fits, try and find for each concept relevant art styles, environments, mediums, lightings, compositions, and artists which could be associated with that concept. Next, there are a ton of concepts of things like people or TV shows from which people like to create images. So here I'm asking ChatGPT to classify it into things like people, animals, games, movies, etc. And then take it one step farther and also categorize it. For example, if it's a person, is it a painter, an animator, or a graphic designer? Finally, I wanted to write a description about the art concept, and here it's very important to be clear that, for example, if it's a person, I want you to analyze his artistic styles and not, for example, give me a description of when he was born or how many kids he has. I still didn't get my GPT-4 API key, so I'm forced to do it manually right now. All I have to do is take these instructions, give them to ChatGPT, and just like that, it's ready to analyze my art concepts. I've actually scraped the internet for thousands of them. Here I'm just taking a few concepts and giving it to ChatGPT and let it start analyzing them. And finally, here we have Cornelis Springer, which is an artist. On the side, I've written a code that takes this JSON format, processes it, and converts it into the GraphHub schema. It updates the database on GitHub, and now when I open the text-to-image graph, it contains the new concept, Cornelis Springer, and because ChatGPT classified him as an artist, he's already inside the list of artists. I decided to take it for a spin. I looked up one concept from each of the lists and put it together into the following. I sent it to Midjourney and this is what I got back. So what's next? Well, I'm super excited about this text-to-image graph. Right now it has about 300 concepts, but once I get my API key and can automate it, I expect it to easily go up to 10,000 concepts. I also need to build a user management system, do some SEO so that Google can find these pages, and finally get my own domain and go live.